how we choose to live. A lifestyle. A lifestyle is our daily routines put together over the course of a couple days, couple weeks, and into a couple years. Within one day is a routine that creates a life that you either enjoy or you don't enjoy. And in your journey throughout your 80 some odd years in this earth, average human lives around 80 years, what you're trying to do as you go along in life is adjust your lifestyle to create more happiness than sadness. A lot of times the trick is not just to get a spike in happiness through instant gratification, but to figure out how do you dial in a healthy balance that's sustainable to gradually either increase your happiness or have a steady, consistent, sustainable, higher level of happiness than sadness. Now we know at any time, life can knock us on our ass, whether it's through getting sick, having a hardship in life financially, going through a breakup, a divorce, or sometimes outside of our controls, like we're experiencing now with a global pandemic. You can almost guarantee that in life there will be curveballs that are thrown at you. So one thing that I'm learning as I'm getting older, good to see Infinity 1999 on the live chat. Thank you everyone who watch my videos. Every night on this channel I go live. Subscribe if you're not. Click that blue join button if you'd like to be a member and have unlimited access to private chats. But I was reflecting today, and I have reflected over the course of the past few years after I sold my house, what's going to give me the best odds to have a higher level of happiness than sadness, to create a lifestyle that optimizes my best life. And the one constant theme for me that kind of always plays a big part in the equation is a level of flexibility. Having a level of options, not being too heavily committed to one thing, to simply have more choices and to be less on the hook. And what I found is a big portion of that ties into being mobile. Okay. What I learned through almost 2 decades of owning a house is a house is very static and sticky. You can't change your location once you buy a house. Your house is where it is. You can never get rid of your property taxes, utility bills. Even if the interesting thing about a utility bill, electric, water, sewer bill, is that even if you use no water, even if you use no electricity, there is always at least a surcharge for just having it available. So a house and being static is automatically, they know you can't go anywhere. By nature of a house, you're stuck. So by nature of business and capitalism, they're going to stick it to you. Nathan, great to see you on a live chat. I checked out your channel. I subbed to your channel to show you support because I believe in mutual support. You seem like a positive person. I saw your video about living in your car, brother. So best of luck to you on your journey. Shout out to you and Infinity 1999 on the live check. And I appreciate people who take the time and leave a comment. Thank you, brother. But I've been living in my car for 3 years, looking at RVs as an option to add some comfort. Why? Am I not comfortable in my car? The height of the summer, I could do better with climate control. Norma, great to see one of my members. I noticed you. I saw that little green symbol next to you. I said, there's a member, and that's Norma from Maryland, who is a retired, semi-retired massage therapist, soon to be a DoorDasher. Just overall great person, praying for your father in the hospital. Great to see you, Norma. So I said to myself, Sam, what would add a higher quality of life? For me, this is an individual decision, but I'm talking out tonight, living in an RV or living in a house, a lifestyle. A day in and day out type of life, and the decisions you make that create a lifestyle. And the mobile lifestyle, the RV lifestyle, is different than a conforming house lifestyle. And so a car, living in a car van, is different than an RV. Both have pros and cons. But the biggest negative with living in a car is you don't have climate control in the height of the summer or in the depths of the winter. And it may only be a couple months out of the year, so you can get by and get through that without a major issue. Certainly if you travel, you're on wheels, you could certainly travel further up north in the summer and further down south in the winter. Many people do that. What I found from living on the road is there's certain areas of the country that I just don't like to be, even if the weather is nice. And if you're going to live in an RV, I think that's important, because the RV lifestyle, the mobile lifestyle, is something that gives you flexibility. You're on wheels. But if there's certain areas you don't like to travel, don't waste your time, don't waste your gas, don't waste your life, because we're about creating a lifestyle that's better for you. But the one thing you're getting in an RV is you're getting the climate control of a house. The air conditioning and heating in a fully self-contained RV versus a house, the end result is not different. You're going to control the climate through a thermostat or through a setting on your air conditioning or heating. You're controlling what temperature it's inside your dwelling. In a car or van, there's no way of doing that. Unless you had a hybrid, you can do that. Hybrid vehicles have the ability to set a certain temperature and then kick the engine on when the hybrid battery needs to recharge. But depending on where you're parked, having your car start every 20 minutes or so in the middle of the night may not be ideal. And so, if you were living in the house running your heating and air conditioning, that means obviously that infrastructure, a furnace, an air conditioner, compressor in the back of your house, or a window AC unit, those things need maintenance, upkeep, and replacement. When I lived in my condo for 15 years, I replaced the furnace, I replaced the outside AC condenser, and the coil within the furnace. Altogether, it's almost $10,000. And then you have the monthly bills of the electric, the natural gas I had, etc. If you live in an RV, you may not even ever have to pay utilities. Why? Because if you go to a campground, most campgrounds and campground memberships such as the Thousand Trail, they include your utility costs when you go there. So you're paying a flat rate up front or a yearly membership rate, and all that's encompassed. There's no surprises at the end of the month living in an RV with a budget. Like if you're living in an RV and you're plugged in at a campground, you're paying, either it's free as part of your membership or you're paying anywhere from $400 to $800 a month. And I like that fixed budget and the lack of, when you live in a house and you go to your mailbox, you're either going to get junk mail or a bill. And you're always going to get a bill. And you can't change that until you sell your house. Damn, I thought I lost you, Don. I was thinking about you. That's Don from Melbourne Beach, Florida. Shout out to Melbourne Beach, Florida. I was thinking about you today. Excuse me, guys. I'm picking my nose a little bit, but in the camera, I was just noticing that. But Don, I was thinking about you today. And I said, did I lose Don, a good viewer from Melbourne Beach, Florida? I love Melbourne Beach, Florida. Nice, quiet area of Florida, east coast of Florida. Not tropical, but on the A1A side, meaning on the coastal side of Melbourne Beach, very nice area. Also have a good friend inland at Melbourne, off Dairy Road, my friend Karen. And I said, maybe I lost Don because I said something political. And so, sorry if I did, but obviously, I got to speak my mind on that. But I love you, Don. Great to see you and your wife if you're both watching. Hey, Sam. Greetings from Melbourne Beach, Florida. It puts a smile to my face. It does. You say, Sam, what puts a smile on your face? Well, hearing someone from Florida, it makes me happy. Now, there's been some negative people I met in Florida. One nasty guy that trolls the bottom of YouTube, he's from Sarasota, Florida. He has a mental disability. It's called an asshole. Nasty guy, man. But I ran into him trolling on the bottom of other channels the other day, and I saw that he starts an argument with everyone. There's some contentious people that doesn't matter if you live in an RV or your house. They're always going to destroy your quality of life and your lifestyle. But the good thing about living in an RV, you can change your neighbors like this. And living in a house, you can change your neighbors. Your neighbors are fixed and static just like you. And I like that an RV has 4 wheels. And I like that if something around those 4 wheels is not sitting well with your soul, you can start your vehicle and leave. That's what I think in my mind. There's sometimes in my mind I say, Sam, I'll probably either live in a car or an RV for the rest of my life. Because I know I don't want marriage. I know I don't want kids. I don't even think I'll ever get another dog. So for me, a home base is still an option, but very unlikely that it's a house or a condo. Very unlikely. It'll either be an RV lot, a piece of property, or just an RV at campgrounds the rest of my life. That's true. Let's take a hydration break. I'll read the rest of Don's comment. And Norma, great to see you, Norma. I got to take my... It's 65 degrees Fahrenheit in New Jersey. Starting to get warmer weather. Once you get into June, that's when you want to be up north. And you want to stay up north till probably about the end of October. Then you want to start to migrate back down to Florida. Love to you guys. Appreciate if you click that thumbs up if you're watching. If you're not a member, think about clicking that blue join button. Be a member of the channel. Love to you, Norma. Love to you, Nathan. Love to you, everyone out there. My man Infinity, thank you, brother. Donald says, we miss you down here. I miss Florida with all my heart. Like I always tell you guys, look, if it wasn't for my mother, I would still be in Florida right now. But I would always either live in my car or RV, because I would probably leave when a hurricane would come. And that's what I think about. I don't think I would ever want to own a home in Florida, because even this past winter, I was thinking about buying a tiny house or a module home on the coast, and the property insurance with flood insurance was $5,000 a year for a 500 square foot tiny house or semi-tiny house. And I said to myself, Sam, that'll never go down. That plus the HOA fee, etc. So I like to live by the beach. I really thought about a place in Okeechobee, Florida, which if you live in an RV, Okeechobee, Florida is southern Florida, but in the middle of Florida, central Florida. Very RV friendly. Lake Okeechobee is the second biggest freshwater lake in the country. Very big lake for people who like fishing. The area is a country style though. You're about an hour away from the coast, about 2 hours or so away from Miami. You can find cheap property there. Some of them have utilities on them, some of them don't. But I really thought about that. I came close to a couple things there, but I don't know if I wanted to live that far away from the beach, because I love the beach. Every day I want to see the beach, and it's that important to my lifestyle. What is a lifestyle? It's what you do on a day in, day out basis. That creates your quality of life. So I say to myself, I've done some hard work of my life to simplify my life, to live more doing things that I enjoy so I can create a better quality of life. That matters to me. That should matter to you. That's why I share my thoughts, because I want you to start to think about what matters to you, what makes you happy, what makes you joyful. You're going to have sadness. You're going to have sickness. You're going to have pandemics. There's a lot of part of life that's outside of our control that, it sucks, but, I don't know what to say. I didn't create the world. Just trying to do the best I can too. But how you choose to live, okay, is a big part of your dwelling, because it creates a lifestyle. A house creates a lifestyle. A condo creates a lifestyle. An RV creates a lifestyle. So why does the RV lifestyle tend to appeal to me more? Because of the increased amount of flexibility. Less commitment, less liability. The number one thing I think about when I think about a house is liability, and you need liability insurance, is liability and maintenance. I hate maintenance. I hate tools. I hate measuring things. I hate Home Depot. That's truth. Some people like it. Some people like projects. I was talking to a friend today. He got divorced last year. He's already living with another girl. I said, brother, take it slow. But he's a good guy. I love this guy. I respect this guy. I said, what are you doing this weekend? He says, I'm installing a pool. Second pool he installed in his life. In New Jersey. Oh, guys, you know what I mean? You go swimming like 2 weeks out of the year in New Jersey. Total disaster. But I didn't want to destroy his hope. I love this guy. So I said, so you going to install a pool? He goes, yeah, I'm about 75% complete. I said, well, what do you got left? He's got to dig like a trench, run an electrical line. It's a total disaster. And he can't even talk to me while his girlfriend's there because, you know, his girlfriend knows that I'm pro-vasectomy, anti-marriage. So I hate to say it. That's how I feel. I hate houses. I hate Home Depot. Forgive me if I'm hurting you guys, but I'm talking about the RV lifestyle or at least mobile, somewhat mobile. Because I hate houses. I despise them. I think they are created by the banks. You know, so that either you get a mortgage on them, they're created for the county to get a fixed budget. Your property taxes are based on that. You know, if you don't like to deal with people, if you don't like to watch the press conferences with the coronavirus, imagine going to a HOA meeting. I lived in a HOA, in a townhome community. I thought it was well run. I got along with pretty much everyone. But I couldn't believe, like, there was always someone, when I would walk at the community at night, there was always someone that would bitch and moan about something going on in the community. I said, what you mad about? They go, oh, they could have trimmed the bushes a different way. I'm like, man, you got to get a life, bro. You know, I'm not sitting there looking at how a bush is trimmed. I'm trying to get some bush. Let's take hydration. Again, my man, Don. I miss you too, man. Glad to see you're doing well in New Jersey with your mom. I am thankful to spend quality time with my mom. The reason I am is because I'm mobile. If I wasn't mobile and I had a house, it would either make things more difficult, more burdensome, more worrisome about leaving a house. Should I cut off the utilities before I leave? Should I cut off the water? Because if I left my house for 2 months to come visit my mom in New Jersey, it's not like, you know, if you just jump in your RV and leave, I would have to tidy up my house, maybe cut off the utilities, because if you get a plumbing leak in your house while you're gone, that could destroy your house. So there's a whole process. You can't just leave a house. You have to babysit a house. There are what they call house sitters. Can you believe that you have to pay someone to come babysit your house? It happens. A lot of richer people do it. But I like in my mind, and this is just me, I'm talking about a lifestyle. I like in my mind that I could start my vehicle, go anywhere at any time. Everything I have is with me, and I don't have to turn on it, off anything. I'd rather look for a campground than call my water company and, oh, I'm going to charge you $75 to turn off, $75 to turn on. Again, we're talking about different lifestyles, not for everyone. And the RV lifestyle is not all that great. It's a depreciating asset, meaning that when you buy it like a car, it does go down in value. A house tends to go up. But a house, you only make money when you sell. And when you sell, if you're going to make money, chances are real estate prices are up. So where are you going to buy? Chances are if the real estate market is down and you see another good piece of property, then you're going to either lose money or not make money on your original sale, and then you're going to buy something else. They had the system set up. The only way you really make out is if you sell in a good time, you go to a cheaper state, okay, and you're retired or something, and you buy a smaller house, you downsize. But that's a process, and what I learned is once you're in your 60s, you don't have the energy to downsize, to throw out, to separate emotional ties, and to change a lifestyle, and to go to a different state, and to coordinate with U-Haul and go get a new license. You don't have that type of strength. You don't have that type of vigor. Downsize when you're young. I want to repeat that, and anyone who hears that message, put it in the live chat. Downsize when you are young. Why? So that you can create a lifestyle on your choosing, not on the society evolutionary scale, which means you get out of high school, maybe you get into college loan debt, then maybe you say, all right, after college, you get a career, then you buy a nicer car, then you get a girlfriend, a boyfriend, then you have 2 kids, Then you wake up middle of your life and you say, what am I doing? I'm not happy in my marriage. Let's go to marriage counseling. And then you say, oh, well, maybe marriage will get better or life will get better if I do a renovation on my house. Then you install a pool. Then you realize you can only swim in your pool 2 months out of the year. You're getting charged electric, maintenance. You need a pool boy. You need a pool girl. Then you say, you know what? In our 50s, I don't want to live here the rest of my life. Let's go down to Florida. Then you say, well, we can't sell right now because of the coronavirus. We can't have an open house. Then you get frustrated. Then you're waiting. Your entire life has gone by. Now you're 60, 70. Now you're at high risk for the coronavirus. You can't even go to the beach because you got a social distance. And you say, I could have improved my lifestyle through the course of my 80 years if I kept things simple, mobile, and flexible. Even more so in times of an emergency, the flexible person tends to be in a better position. Bruce Lee, the famous martial arts guy, actor, who died young and tragic, he had once had a saying that the person who is more flexible will survive a storm, just as if you observe the bamboo tree. It's more flexible and it can withstand a storm. Like if you ever look at palm trees, they survive hurricanes many times because they sway in the wind. A stiff oak tree from New Jersey will totally get destroyed in a hurricane. That's why there's no oak trees on the coast. Flexibility allows you to survive volatility. Okay. Being on wheels is flexible. Being on a concrete pad foundation, not as flexible. A lifestyle difference. Think about that. Let's continue. No, she's my member. I like that there are no lease to signs at a campground. Yes. And usually no security deposit. I'd agree. No utility deposit, etc. Excellent comment, Norma. Great job. Good viewer. One thing I like about the Thousand Trails membership, even though they're not everywhere, but even when I stay at state parks. Good to see you, John. Good to see you, DF, K-Force. All the people on the live chat, guys, I appreciate you guys. Don't take you for granted. Norma left a good comment. I totally agree. And John, what I tell you, or anyone thinking about getting a divorce, don't buy another house. Either rent an apartment or live in an RV. Change your life for the better. That's what I think. But buy an RV below your means, because RVs can be expensive. But I think you're going to get a deal in the next few months here. And a small RV, not a big RV. For one single person, you say, Sam, I'm a 50-year-old guy. I'm thinking about maybe starting a new life. What size RV should I get? I think for one person, around no more than 20 feet long. That's what I think. So that means probably a Class B. And if you want to go to a Class C, I say no more than 24 foot long. And if you want to get a travel trailer, if you already have a pickup truck, then go with that. You just always have to be at a campground. But to Normal's point, if you get like the Thousand Trails campground, which is $600 for a year. I have the Thousand Trails camping pass. It's $600 per year. That includes, when I go to a campsite, that includes my electrical, my water hookup, and the common bathrooms or pools, which some of them are closed now with the coronavirus, but you're fully, all your utilities, your electric, your water, your sewer, it's all includes $600 for the whole year. So you think about that. I love, in my mind, I love to pull up to a campsite, and I don't even have a fully self-contained RV. Wait till I have one of them, then I'm really going to get excited. I can go up to a campsite. I could plug in my extension cord, or if I had an RV, plug it in. I could run my air conditioning all day long in the hot Florida sun, and I never have to worry about that electric bill. I never have to worry about the water bill. That matters to me. And if you say, Sam, well, what if you get tired of the campgrounds and you want to buy a home base? Okay. Then I take my RV. I don't trade it in for a house. I take my RV, I buy an RV lot. Okay. I'm not paying for anything other than what I use. And so if I plug into the electric, all I have to do is cool a 20-foot RV. Okay. And I could get like a carport put over the RV, keep the heat off it. You can still take a dookie in a 3 mil trash bag. You don't want to pay for water or septic? Guys, what's wrong with taking a dookie in a bag? I've done it before. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You dispose of it, just like you do dispose of dookie from a dog. You pick up the dog's dookie. What do? You put it in a bag and you throw it out. Okay. You never have to clean a toilet bowl. I like that. I like that. It makes me happy. One of the worst parts about living in a house was cleaning the toilet bowl. I hated it. I hate the cleaning products. You think about how it's all a systematic disaster. Okay. I replaced the toilet. You got to clean the toilet. You got to get the cleaning utensils. You got to get like that. It's like a big toothbrush. You got to dig in there. Then you got to get like the rim around the toilet bowl cleaner. Then you got to get a mat. You got to get a mat to put underneath the toilet bowl. Then you got to get the little trash can for the bathroom. Then you got to get the little trash can bags for the bathroom. Okay. Then God forbid you got to get under the sink and change the hoses. Guys, hold up. You don't need that. I'll tell you right now, I've been living in my car for 3 years. Guys, even those it's a luxury to have a fully self-contained RV. You don't even need that. Live simple, guys. You say, Sam, I'm going through a horrible time, a divorce or a bad financial time. Hey, use it as an opportunity to simplify your life. It'll be a blessing from the Lord. What are we talking about? A lifestyle. How do you want to live? How do you want to, a lifestyle is about creating daily habits, daily things you do that make you more happy and less sad. That creates a well life. It makes me happy to plug in my electric, never have to worry about electric bill. It makes me happy to have everything I own with me. Loved it. I loved the mobile. I remember one of my first trips down to Florida, and we're going to get into live comments, guys. I'm in the zone right now. Love you, Don. Love you, Norma. Thank you for your support. I remember I went down to Florida in my car for one of the first times, and I was still unsure. I wasn't even full-time living in my vehicle. And one of the people I work with, I called him. He's a good guy. And he said, Sam, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm looking at maybe a small condo or something like that. I'm trying to figure out what I should do to get down here. He goes, well, Sam, he goes, you don't have kids or anything. Why don't you just live mobile? Changed my life. A light bulb went on. He said, why don't you just live mobile? You think about that. You'll never have to worry about a hurricane. You'll never have to worry about home insurance. You'll never have to worry about nasty neighbors. Like when you have a house and you have neighbors, sometimes you say, I'm really blessed with good neighbors. I was blessed with some good neighbors. But sometimes you worry about, well, what if they decide to sell their house and leave? So you're never really, I love the fact, again, I go back to the word flexibility. It makes me happy. And that's part of that RV lifestyle. All right, guys, take a hydration break. We'll continue to read. I feel good tonight. Well, it's a little bit warmer today up north. That matters to me. See, the temperature matters to me. And that's why I like to live mobile, guys. I got to live mobile. I'm feeling it tonight. Click that thumbs up. Norma, you nailed it. You nailed it, Norma. You're on fire. Fire emoji, Don. No way I lost it. I appreciate that. God bless you. Good to laugh. Laughter is good for the soul. Good for the soul, brother. K-Force, good comments today, man. Good evening, sir. Good evening, and God bless you, K-Force. Thank you for joining. DF, what's up, man? I go to a big 270-acre campground. Okay. Not too far from Okeechobee. Okay, I know the area well. Basically, and I haven't been to that town, though, I don't think. I think I've heard of it. Clemson, to get away from South Florida business sometimes. Yeah, no, look, there's definitely rural, a lot of farmland, agriculture in Okeechobee area. Most of Florida's land mass is country and agriculture. There's only a small percentage of Florida that is like big cities or big suburbs as far as land mass. Most of the population in Florida is on the coast. Just like in America, like 80% of the population is on the coast. But if Florida's a big state, so if you go inland, there's just tons of open land. And you can buy land cheap. And I almost did in Okeechobee, but I think I want to be closer to the beach. And as I get older, I want to be positioned that I could walk to a store if I didn't want to drive. And still being young, obviously, I want to be in areas where I could DoorDash if I needed to. I want to be by the beach. So you have to look at your age. But that's the other good thing about living in an RV. As you get older, you can just move. Let's say like right now, being in a country land on 270 acres, that suits your needs for your lifestyle. But as you get older, maybe your lifestyle needs change. And all you have to do is start your vehicle or hitch your vehicle and change to the area that suits your needs. Without a closing, without a real estate agent, without an inspection from the county, without permits, all you need is a gas, to fill your gas tank up. And what I'm excited about is I do see 5, 10 years from now, there definitely will be hybrid campers. Definitely. Okay. I mean, even now, like I've showed you guys, you can camp, in a Prius or in a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, but there's going to be actual van campers and probably some, definitely Class B, maybe Class C's in the next 5, 10 years. But really, gas is really your only expense, your major expense for your house, which is your RV. Gas and insurance is cheap. I priced out getting RV insurance for a Class B RV last year. It was half the cost of my same insurance for my car, and it included, if my RV broke down, my insurance would cover 2 weeks in a hotel. Good to see you, Doobies. Love to you guys. Tomasco's in the building. What's up, brother Lala? All right, let's continue to read live comments. So DF, great to see you, man. John, my brother. Hey, Sam, great conversation. Great to have you. You're a great man, smart man, caring man. Love to you, brother. God bless you. Lala. Hey, no, Matt. Year 2023. 3 years from now, I want to move on with my life. Okay. And buy a home. New ad bowling. You want out of a bowling alley? Okay. My house of friends to be with me. Extreme compromise. Your ability. SSI money. Pay loan mobile. I hear you, Lila. Well, it's great to have you. I appreciate you. I know you're going through a lot of change with your family. So just remember to keep things as simple as possible. Go for daily walks and just try to do things that are positive and constructive. 4 years from now, life will be dramatically different. And so what I like about living in an RV, even as things change, if you're living on wheels, you can change with the times. Like my man Bruce Lee said, it is the most flexible tree that survives a storm. Okay. So like just 2 months ago, society was almost 100% different, okay, with regards to the coronavirus pandemic. And those people who have maybe a townhome in Manhattan, a loft, their life's completely different. Or anyone, anywhere. Because all real estate's affected, all staticness. But those who are mobile, they can change quickly without a lot of bureaucracy. Flexibility always has to play a part, at least for me, in my current and future plans. I value flexibility. It relieves stress. Think about when you're your most stressed, when you feel like you're trapped. Okay. What is flexibility? It gives you options out of the predicament. I like that. Okay. Let's continue. Tomasco, are the people in the inland area or upstate Florida safe from the hurricanes? No one is 100% safe from the hurricanes in Florida, no. One of the worst hurricanes in Florida in the early century was actually in the center, Lake Okeechobee. It basically flooded out and killed a couple thousand people, and they built like a man-made dam around the lake. And 2 years ago, there was that devastating Category 5 in the Panhandle. I don't know, what is it, Mexico Beach or whatever, Florida. So Florida, there are safer areas, but there is no 100% safe area from winds, flooding, etc. That's why the RV lifestyle in Florida is very much part of the culture. At any time of the year when you go to Florida, you will see RVs during the course of your daily travels. Like, I grew up in New Jersey, so I didn't, in the area I grew up in New Jersey, in northern New Jersey, I barely ever saw an RV in my whole life. Okay. Of course, I heard the term, but I never really, you don't see RVs driving around the road. So, when I went on my journey to simplify my life, and I started traveling south, and definitely once I got into Florida, the RV culture in Florida is very rich and abundant. And there are communities that are just RV lots. Why? Because every year, not once every 10 years, not once every 100 years, but every year in Florida, there is hurricane season. From June to November, with the peak, with 80% of the hurricanes come right between August and the end of September. Those 2 months, you definitely need flexibility. That's why home insurance is so high in Florida, because you really can't escape it. And so everything has its pros and cons, okay? So I did the research, and I understand the negatives of living in Florida. That's one of them. I mean, there's still more positive than negatives. So how do you create a lifestyle? You create things that are more positive than negative. But there's always some negative in the world. In every decision, there's negative. So the way you alleviate some of that negativity is you stay mobile. And that's why a lot of people do live in their RVs. Some live in great luxury RVs or RV communities, and some live in crappy, cheap. So there's many ways. Like in Lake Okeechobee, there's some cheap RV parks, like $250 a month. Now, I personally probably would not want to stay there, but you have the option to change. Okay. There's tons of state parks in Florida. Now, some of them are still closed for camping. I called the other day to check one of my favorite state parks. They're still closed for camping. But they will open it up again. There's plenty of private campgrounds. They're open. I called the 1,000 Trails. They're open right now. But in New Jersey, there's only a couple parks with RV, and they're only seasonal. By law in New Jersey, you cannot live in an RV all year long in a campground. They don't have them here. You can only camp, like, I don't know what it is, 9 months out of the year by law. So, if you're going to live full-time in an RV, and if you're going to live in one state, you have to think about the climate. But the thing about, even if you lived in one state, like I know people that live in Florida and they never travel out of Florida. Good to see you, Ivan. Even during a hurricane, they don't leave for their own personal reasons, and they have that right. But what I'm trying to tell you is what they do, right? Like if a hurricane is coming to Miami, what they'll do is they'll start their RV and maybe they'll go up the west coast of Florida. They'll go into Naples, Fort Myers, and they'll navigate around the worst of the storm. You're still going to get gusts of winds and flooding, maybe everywhere. But just because you live in an RV doesn't mean you have to travel out of state. You can travel within state. You can buy property as an RV lot. Or you could just stay at campgrounds. Or there are even free camping in Florida. The Water Management District in Florida allows free camping if you get a permit online. I've done that. They're in the middle of nowhere, but there is hope in sometimes a hopeless world of endless bills and maintenance. And now the RV itself is not cheap if you buy emotional, uninformed, and you just jump into it. I learned that too. One of the first videos I made that got some traction was RV living. It's not so simple. It's not so cheap. Now it can be through research, through patience, and through taking your time. When looking at purchasing an RV, start with less. Start at the bare essentials. Don't just look at the monthly payment. Look at the length of your payment. Look at the final cost and visualize yourself driving it day in, day out. And that's why I just stayed in the car, because I said, at that time I was 36, 37. Now I'll be 40 this year. So as I get progressively older, I'm looking to add more, but very incremental and very intentional. Okay. But if you do plan and prepare for the RV life, you can do it still at the cheapest level while having all the comforts of a home. Because an RV that's fully self-contained has everything a home has. Okay. And so, let's just think about that. All right, guys, take a hydration break. We'll continue to read the live comments. Please, if you haven't clicked that thumbs up, think about clicking that blue join button to join me in live chats. Take a hydration break. Appreciate you guys. Tomasco. All right, I'm sorry. Dupes, what's up, man? Yo, first live chat's great to have you, Dupes. Smiley face and wave back to you, brother. God bless you, man. Great to have you. My man Tom, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to all the good people in the live chat tonight. Thank you. Ivan. My man Sam, what's up, brother? Great to have you, man. If you were to live in an RV yourself full time, that may be the next step, brother. Would you consider a Class B or Class C? Yes, but it's probably going to be a Class B, okay? The Corrado Axion, if they still made them, I'd be in one rather shortly. Because it's only 18 feet long, and I really would like to be under 20 feet. Right now I'm still hesitant, but I'm closer than I was when I started, because I now know a lot more than when I started this mobile lifestyle. A Class C, There's one that they make under 20 feet. It's called the 19-foot Majestic Class C RV, and Cruise America sells them used. Cruise America, if you look at their website, Cruise America, that's information for you. They'll rent you an RV. Okay, I did a video with someone who was renting an RV from the UK in the winter in Florida. You know, you'll notice them when they drive, they say like, Cruise America, you want to rent this RV, etc. If you go on their website, they have used RV sales. Like right now, they would sell you a used Class C 19-footer for about $30,000. Okay. Now, it's got 100,000 miles on it. So, I'm not a big Class C fan. I am more a Class B fan on a Dodge ProMaster 1500. Because a Dodge ProMaster 1500 is the same thing as going onto a Dodge dealership and buying a van. I even did the research. If you get the Dodge ProMaster 1500 like conversion van, you go and you get the brakes serviced at every regular Dodge dealership. If you have a Class C, usually you're going to have to go to an RV dealership to get it maintenanced, and I don't like that because then I lose some of my flexibility. Remember, the key word for me is flexibility. So a Class C, it almost mandates, or a Class A motorhome, it almost mandates that you're going to be at one time or another inside a service department in an RV dealership. I don't like that idea. I rather go to a Dodge dealership, which are plentiful throughout the country, to get my brake service, to get engine work, or anything that may need to come to pass down the road. But I like that it's just all one thing, right? It's not an AC condenser unit outside my house. It's not a water heater in my basement. It's my car is my everything. I like that. Now, the travel trailer has no motor, okay? And what makes that attractive is you just have a regular car and you have a regular travel trailer. No motor, very limited components. The thing I don't like is you have two things. You always have to be in a campground. You can kind of never stealth park. And that takes away some flexibility. Notice for me with the RV lifestyle and the mobile lifestyle, flexibility is my number one thing I love. Okay. Options, lack of commitment, lack of liability. So I'm paying attention to all those things. Good question, Tom. Howdy. Shout out from South Florida. I love South Florida, all my heart. Tom, we got you in here from South Florida. We got my man Don from Melbourne Beach, Florida. We got my person Lila, aka Zach from Florida. I think the northwest coast of Florida. Tom, what's the most you're willing to pay? Great question. Great question, Tom. For a Class B, you really can't get them new for less than $70,000. The one I was looking at last year was the Corrado Axion for about $70,000. Okay. Now, I would finance that for 20 years. The payment would be probably around $400 a month. I could do that and without being stressed. Okay. And the only thing I don't like about that, if I needed to tap into the gig economy, I don't have that option of DoorDash or Instacart in a Class B, and that's why I've been hesitant. That takes away flexibility and options. But what I have seen in the technology industry and some of the industries surrounding me is that there are more and more remote positions that have come available with this pandemic if needed, but job market is still sketchy, especially with 30 plus million Americans unemployed. So you have to prepare. If you're not retired, what are your options if you get laid off based on your vehicle, because your vehicle is your home? Now with a Class B, you know, I could go anywhere and be fine. A Class C, you know, I could go to my job in a Class B. Class C, I don't know. Like Miami, I could see myself, if I had to go to an office building in a Class B, I'd be fine. In Class C, don't know. Driving around Miami wouldn't do it for me. So $70,000 for a used one, it'd probably be around 40 or 50. I haven't seen any decent low mileage Class B for under 40,000. Once you start to get to 30,000 and under, you're talking about very high mileage, very old, and I don't think I want to go down that route. So 70,000 is a lot of money. Now, if you stretch the payment out 20 years, again, you're around anywhere between $400 to $500 per month. The average car payment in America right now is $500 per month, but the average car loan is around 6 years. The average RV loan is around 20 years. So with me knowing the campground situation, and even if I had a $400 or $500 a month note, I think I would still live, for my housing cost under $1,000 a month. Okay. And I would always have the flexibility to start my vehicle and leave. Okay. Whereas if I buy a condo, whereas if I buy a house, I don't have that flexibility, which is even worse if you lose your job or something like that, or you have to go visit your elderly mom. Because right now, if I had a house in Florida, I'd be paying for utilities, I'd be paying for property taxes, and I'm up here with my mom. I'm wasting money, technically. Wasting it. Never getting it back. I might as well be renting. Renting, you could just, month to month, and then when it's over, you go visit your mom. Flexibility's key. That's, if you don't remember anything else, when you go to the RV lifestyle, that's what you want more than the regular life is. You want more flexibility. It's not for everyone, but it's for me, and I'm sharing for those people who are very similar to me. When in doubt, again, you can go car or van if you're young and healthy enough, tent camp. Milano, who his friend Emilio, they both live full-time in their RV. They have Class B pluses in Miami. So these are actual people that I know that actually live full-time in their RVs in Florida. They have for years. Milano, how many years have you been living in Florida? They've done videos when hurricanes have come, them getting in their vehicle and moving around. Okay. The Corrado Axion used to be $59K to start. Okay. They don't make them anymore. That company went out of business, but they got bought out by the Thor Motor Company, and they're going to start making new camper vans in the second half of 2020. So, I really do, and I think if I were to get an RV lot, then I would consider a travel trailer. So, the reason I would go travel trailer on an RV lot is because you can get a travel trailer for one person for about $10,000, and with an RV lot, look, you're gonna have your property taxes, utility bills, so you need to balance that off with a cheaper RV. Possibly. You don't have to. So RV lot tends to go with a travel trailer. If you don't buy property, then you may be better in a van or camper van, Class B or Class C. Now, again, this is all individual, right? So different things work for different people. These are my thoughts tonight. Roll down this window, take a hydration break. Guys, click that thumbs up. Click that blue join button if you're not a member, you want to be one. Take a hydration break. Yeah, it's warm today in New Jersey. Like I said, almost 70 degrees, and it'll get up to almost 75 degrees at the end of this week. And then next week's back to the 60s. It doesn't get warm in New Jersey till about June. Let's continue to read. My man Blanton's in the building. My man Carlos. James. I miss some people, man. Tom. I read that. Ivan. Valid points. It's more convenient with a Class B. I definitely agree. Since there are always a Dodge. Yes, Dodge, Ford dealers, than RV. Totally agree. And I prefer the Dodge ProMaster 1500 series over the Ford vans. I don't like the look of the Ford vans. And, look, I don't know. Planet Fitnesses, the gyms aren't open yet, but those are something like you could stealth camp for one night in a gym or a Walmart parking lot. And no one would really notice you if you don't abuse it. And you're allowed to if you don't abuse it. So, a Class C, I've seen people park in those places with a Class C, and you can do it. But I just like the little bit less eyes on you with a camper van. Milano, he says, yes, flexibility. Well, Milano, great to see you tonight. Well, brother, because you live full-time in a Class B plus. Beautiful RV. I saw it on a video he did. So you actually living it. And you're a great guy. You got a great attitude. You've been full-time. And so Milano's been full-time RVing since 2014. That is for 6 years. Okay. And Milano has lived in different parts of the country. He's lived in Virginia. I think you said you lived in California. You were from Cuba and went to Florida. So Milano has traveled around, and he tends to like South Florida, just like me. But he also likes his flexibility, just like me. And that's why me and him get along. Ivan, what do you like about the Corrado Axion? I like it's the shortest camper van ever built in North America. It's on the Dodge ProMaster 1500. Again, I prefer that one out of all the camper vans. The Loft Edition had a separate sleeping quarters, a pop top. It had a sunroof type thing, and it was fully self-contained, and it was less than 18 feet. They stopped making them. They're going to start, another company bought them out. Hopefully they'll make something similar in this fall. I'll be looking to purchase possibly. Oh my God, I see a girl walking by me right now. She got a pair of yoga pants on. Make you, oh my God. Whew. Oh, Jesus. I'll tell you right now. Good Lord. But the only other camper van that's that small is the Pleasureway Tofina. I did, yes, Milano. Whew, excited about that one, brother. I did a video. I went to Pennsylvania last month to look at a Pleasureway Tofina. The problem with that is it's not fully self-contained, but it's only 18 feet long. Same Dodge ProMaster 1500 series. They'll get you about 17 miles per gallon. Not bad, not great, but the best mileage you can get on a fully self-contained RV. But the Pleasureway Tofina is not fully self-contained. I did a video on it. Look at my Nomad playlist on my channel. And it doesn't have the shower. It just basically didn't have a shower and a toilet, but it had a kitchenette and it had a sleeping quarters. So I almost considered that. I almost want to get, but I would like a fully self-contained RV. So if I got sick or as I get elderly, I don't have to leave my RV if I don't want to. And that's my next step up, I think. Carlos, what's up, brother? Shout out to South Florida, man. Shout out to my guy, Carlos, man. You saw, oh, man, what you saw, I saw. But you in South Florida, so you see him every day. Hey, Sam, how are you? How's my mom? Yeah, she's doing okay. I saw my mom, see my mom once a day. I'm thankful for that time, making the most of the time. Like any elderly person, they can be sometimes difficult to deal with, but I'm being patient. Thankful I got her a smartphone. Thankful she's walking a little bit. The warmer weather helps her. So when you're old, I don't know why you'd want to live in the winter. Live in a climate in the winter that's cold. And even my mom says it's a disaster. But when you're old, it's too late to downsize because it takes an extreme amount of energy and willpower. But if you're already living in an RV, all you got to do is start your RV. That's a big difference. James, what's up, brother? Hello, great to see you. James, can't find the join button. Yeah, that's weird that people, thank you, James. Not James, I'm sorry. Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, for looking to join. I've heard that people who have an iPhone or iPad, there's no join button because they're in a different operating system. So if you have an iPhone, you'll have to go on your desktop computer or laptop, click on my channel, then click that blue join button. Thank you for even looking, Carlos. Thank you for your support. But yeah, that's what I guess people on the iPhone or iPad have to do. If you have an Android, it should be there, but you can get it via your desktop laptop. Thank you, man. Milano, Sammy, Gerardo was, yeah, I saw Emilio's video. Hopefully I'll get a used one, maybe. I would buy a couple year, I would possibly, there's one right now, one used Corrado Axion for sale for $72,000 in Fort Lauderdale. But I think that's a little highly priced, and it's not the Loft Edition. I want the Loft Edition with the pop top. So we'll have to see. Josh, what's up, man? Great to see you, Josh. Love to you. Full-time nomad, stock trader, trying to live his best life. Good to see you, Josh. Love to you, man. Milano, since 1987, he's been living his best life. Well, damn it, Milano. Shout out to you, brother. My man, Bland, North Carolina, South Carolina's in the building. What does Bland do? He does energy drink reviews. He's a hardworking college graduate, debt-free. Okay. Got a girlfriend. Got a good head on his shoulders. Okay. Doing the best he can. Let's see what Bland got to say. What's up, guys? Great to have you. Hope everyone is having a great day. He's got a great attitude. Bland, good to see you, brother. Do a backflip. Enjoy your life, man. Love to you. Josh, hey, Nomad. Would it be better to buy an RV outright in full instead of financing one? Good question. I'll answer that in a minute. I like to refrain from being, now I could understand your point here. I like to refrain from debt and owing people unless you suggest exclusively renting an RV. Well, one is, good question. I would not buy an RV cash if you still would not have a 12-month emergency fund. In my opinion, never touch your 12 months emergency fund. I would rather finance an RV for 20 years, keep a 12-month emergency fund, cash liquid, and just have a monthly payment. Okay? Because don't forget, if you don't like your RV in 5 years, yes, it's a depreciating asset, but it's still an asset. Example, if you finance a $70,000 Class B RV today for 20 years, And in 5 years, you decide you don't want this anymore and you want to change your life, buy a house or go back to a van or whatever. When you go to trade that in, maybe it's going to be worth 30 or 40,000. And your loan, you're probably still going to owe maybe 60,000 or a little bit less. So you're probably going to be in a deficit of 20,000. But, either way, I mean, what I could tell you is don't touch your emergency fund. Number one. Number two is look at your age, your health, and your long-term objectives. If you don't see yourself wanting to live in an RV for years to come, don't buy one. Stay in your car or van. And three is, what's the way you like to live? Do you like to stay in one town? Are you willing to stay in that town if a hurricane comes? I'm not willing to evacuate my house and leave it if a hurricane comes. I'll evacuate my RV lot, but I don't want to worry about my house if a hurricane comes. Now for me, I have to think about that because I want my home base in Florida. Now, it all depends where you want your home base. Where, if you get really sick, are you willing to be laid up for a period of time? And then you have to evaluate your assets, your net worth, and the risk that you take in making a purchase. I don't like the idea of going back in debt either. Okay. I think some of the RV lifestyle is kind of being debt free. For my first time ever in my life, I'll be 40 this year, I'm debt free. But I would consider getting an RV loan and that being my only debt and then keeping an emergency fund. So that's my general advice. Obviously, if you can stay debt free and live in your car or van or buy a cheap RV and be willing to deal with the possible maintenance and aggravation, then I would say, that's fine too. So I haven't made a full decision, and that's why when in doubt, don't commit. When in doubt, maximize your flexibility, minimize your liability. Okay. So that's an individual thing. Good question. Milano Semi, full-time RVing since 2014. Well, Milano, shout out to you and all the veterans out there. Len, what do you think about doing a master's program if the company pays for it? If the master's program is in the field you're currently working, yes. If you're not currently working in that field, I would not do it. Why? Because a master's degree is saying that you are committing long-term to that industry. If you don't commit long-term to that industry, a master's degree is a waste of time and money, a waste of years. After I got my apprenticeship in being an electrician, I studied for another 3 years to get my master's electrician certification. And I leveraged that over the course of my career. So right now, if you're delivering for Pepsi and they're willing to pay for a master's degree in theology, I wouldn't do it unless you're not going to. I wouldn't get a master's in theology unless you were actually being like a pastor and you were working in the pastoral field. I wouldn't get a master's degree in communication and you're delivering Pepsi. You should be working in the field you're going to get a master's in to know if you somewhat like it and you can see yourself long-term investing in that industry. And how does that industry look 10 years ago? Is there flexibility in that industry? So what we have currently in America is a college loan debt problem. But even if the company would pay for the college degree, one is 100% tuition. A lot of companies will give you a percentage, but not 100%. So that's a key question. You got to ask that, and you got to get that in writing. Then number two is if you're not working in the industry, I don't think you should waste years of your life to master an industry that you're not working in. So that's how I would reply to that, and I think that's wisdom. Love to you, brother. You'll figure it out one way or another. You're a smart, good guy. Josh. Milano, nice. Yeah, Milano's doing it, man. How do you like the lifestyle? Milano loves that lifestyle. Yeah, Sammy, oh my God, you still saw these yoga pants, man. But I'll tell you, it's a trap though, too. So, but I'll tell you, it makes you go, whoo. Carlos, oh yeah. Yvonne, Evan, holla. Yo, I'm trying to tell you. Blaine, amen goes to choir in the yoga pants. Guys, yoga pants makes life a little bit better to deal with, even a pandemic. Blaine, yeah, Ivan, what you think about the Mercedes vans. Too pricey, huh? Yeah, too pricey and too much maintenance. It's like dating a girl that's got a Coach bag, big sunglasses, and an Audi. Too much maintenance. So a Mercedes chassis is the opposite of a good, simple lifestyle. Even the Dodge ProMaster makes me a little bit the cost of it, but at least it's somewhat simple. Going to a Dodge dealership versus going to a Mercedes dealership, big difference. I leased a Range Rover. I leased a Jaguar times in my life, and going to the dealership is a fun experience, but it's a lot of unnecessary fluff. Like, yeah, you can play pool, they got pool tables while they do your car, but guys, for me, Mercedes overrated. Okay. I think we are now in society where luxury is overrated. Like when I was coming up in the 90s, like having a Mercedes was a big deal. Now having a Mercedes to me is like a sign of insecurity, and to me, even if you had the money, I wouldn't blow it on a Mercedes. But that's my opinion now. This part of the conversation is solely my opinion. But you do have to factor in the more complicated the vehicle, the engine, etc., the higher the maintenance and the more finicky it is. You know what I mean? Sensitive. Dodge, Ford, a little bit, simple, rough. I like that. Let's take a hydration break. Good to see you, Tony. We got a good chat going tonight, guys. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Click the join if you didn't. Let's continue. When virus goes over, we are going camping trip. Good. 3 days back to see my friends in Inglewood, Florida. Well, that's great. Love to Marin. Look at Sanibel Island in the building. You're after the virus, you're going to go camping. Well, Lila, a.k.a. Zach, you hang in there. Again, I respect you. I love you, and we'd love to have you here. And that sounds exciting that after the virus, you're going to go camping. That's awesome. Bland, index fund video coming tonight. All right, Mr. Dave Ramsey. I'm not mad at you. Minimize the risk and maximize the cheese and the sock. Well, brother, I love you, and I know you're going to do great no matter what you do in life. Because, like I say, you're a positive person. You try to treat people right. And like I say, I'm a supporter of yours. You have to figure out your own investments. I try to not ever tell people how to invest. I tell them the same thing that I say when it comes to picking an RV. Whatever you do, don't touch your 12-month emergency fund. Then, if you're going to invest, pay off your debt first, and then do whatever you want. Because life is, it's individual taste. Ivan, hey, Sam. Is it worth it to put money down on an RV or take advantage of the no money down if you are approved for it? I haven't seen too many RVs that will do zero down. Cars, definitely. I'm sure there may be some, but most car dealerships will require anywhere between 5 to 20% down. 5% of the RV price to 25%. And the standard is at least 10% down. Not including sales tax, etc. So it all goes back to, one is don't touch your 12 months emergency fund. Two is that could be part of the negotiation. You could possibly, and two is there a trade-in, right? So you could say, look, I want to buy this $60,000 Class B. So you go to the dealership right now. Maybe you have a paid-off Prius worth $10,000 in Kelley Blue Book. So you go to Sanibel Island. You go see Marin because her and her husband work for RV dealership when they're not trading stocks during the day. And you say, look, I would like this Class B RV. It's retail. You say you're selling it for 60. Oh no, they're selling it for 70. Okay, you always want to get at least 10 to 20% off the sticker at least. So you're selling it for 60. You're selling it for 70. I'll give you 60. I'll trade in my Prius. That'll put $10,000 towards the loan. So I'll finance $50,000 over 20 years at a no greater than 4% interest rate based on current market. That'll bring my payment to around $400 per month or so. And that's how I would negotiate that. Okay, good job. Josh, that makes sense, Nomad. Dave Ramsey also says the only debt he could justify is a mortgage. That's true, and if you're going to live full-time in your RV, it's a mortgage. But the difference is, a RV tends to depreciate an asset while a house tends to appreciate. But a house has more recurring cost. Electrical bill, water bill, sewer bill, property taxes, home insurance, upkeep of maintenance. So a house, When you go to sell a house, you don't think about all those bills that you paid over time. You paid the landscaper. You paid a guy to come fix your plumbing. You paid a guy to come hang your ceiling fan. So if you bought your house for $100,000 10 years ago and you could sell it for $200,000 today, you didn't make $100,000 net profit. Think about all the maintenance, all the utility bills, all the property taxes, all the home insurance that you paid. Guys, home ownership should be reserved for people who are starting a family, want to get anchored in a community for at least 10 years, and don't like to move around a lot. That would best suit them. And it should always be below their means. And they should be in good financial state before they take on a mortgage. So I tend to agree with the level of Dave Ramsey's philosophy. He's helped me. The only thing I disagree with him on step one should be create a budget and get 12 months worth of expenses in a savings account before you pay off any debt. Pay your bare minimum so you don't affect your credit rating, but get your 12-month emergency fund first. Why? Because, guys, right now, if you got laid off or if you got sick, who cares if you're debt-free? You care if you have enough liquid in the cash that you don't have to wait for Donald Trump to give you another $1,200 check for you to feed yourself, okay? Your 12-month emergency fund is the difference between you having to go back to live with your relatives versus your independence, okay? So you say, Sam, 12-month emergency fund, that's high. I only want to do 6 months. Well, hey, that's fine. Just remember it takes 4 to 6 months to find another career job, okay? So, just remember all those things. Nathan, thank you again for your support and love. Great to see you. Dave Ramsey also said he would never live in a car. Yeah, that's true. Dave Ramsey has also been bankrupt. So you got to think about that, right? Like technically, Dave Ramsey says don't take advice from poor people. Well, technically, if Dave Ramsey had to pay off his millions of debt, he may have never been rich. So he used the tax code and he used the laws of the land to bankrupt millions of dollars. So he's smart in some of his advice, but I would never be married. Dave Ramsey's married with 3-4 kids, and they all work for him. Imagine working for your father, and if you disagree with your father, you can't get paid? Nah. So, guys, Dave Ramsey's not God. In fact, I think if Dave Ramsey says he's a Christian, if he was a Christian, he would believe in socialism. Because Jesus wasn't a capitalist, he was a socialist. So we can go down that whole philosophy. Dave Ramsey also believes in tithing 10% of your income to your church. Okay. So, guys, if Dave Ramsey believes in Jesus, if he believes in tithing 10% of his income, why wouldn't you believe in socialism? Because that's the way of Christianity. So Dave Ramsey is a little bit of a capitalist fraud, but he has some good principles. You have to take the good, leave the bad. That's what I say. Blaine, thanks for the answer. Definitely questions to ask, no doubt. Milano, Mercedes is very expensive. I agree. To upkeep. Too much maintenance? Not for me. I agree. Tony, good to see you, Sam. It's a blessing to see you, Tony. Marin, a.k.a. Ziggy. She also has an iPhone. She says she can't see the blue join button. I can't believe it, guys. They're killing me. But you can do it via your desktop. Hit that join button. She goes, made it in time. A lot of palm trees. Woohoo. From Florida. More palm trees. Starting to get hot in Florida. Oh, she gave me some tropical colored pants emojis. Oh, bikini. I love the bikini emoji. Straw hat to keep the sun off your face, even though I like the sun. A lot of sun emojis and more tropical palm trees. Well, shout out to everyone in Southwest Florida. Okay. Now, Southwest Florida, the Gulf of Mexico is not as nice as Atlantic Ocean. And even Marin admits that. Because Marin knows the most negative ions. Negative ions are basically something that goes into your being. They speak to your cells. They come off the Atlantic Ocean. There's not too many negative ions off the Gulf of Mexico. It's like the backwash of a glass of beer. But to get the foamy part of the beer is the Atlantic Ocean. That's where you get all the negative ions. I got to be on the east coast of Florida. But shout out to everyone on Southwest. Love to you, Marin. Lila, a.k.a. Zach. Hey, Nomad. I question on my YouTube, when I get to 200 subscribers, when I have join button on the channel. Subscribers don't necessarily matter with join. You have to at least have 1,000. The view watch time hours matter the most when it comes to the join button. So you're going to need over 1,000 subscribers, and you're going to need several 100,000 view minutes per month. That's how you get the blue join button. Hopefully that'll help you. Take it one step at a time. Again, I've been on YouTube for 3 years. For the first year, I didn't even have monetization. Second year, I finally got monetized, barely making anything. Third year, I'm at about minimum wage, and I'm trying to grow it through channel memberships and just consistency, etc. Fabrizi, what's up, man? Volkswagen Golf, stage 2 with crackles and pops. Okay, love to you. I like that robot emoji. I like that robot avatar. Len, Thanks for the answer. Definitely questions to ask myself. Love to you. Nathan at Josh. A caller said he makes $100,000 and lives in a van. And Dave asked for advice. Ramsey said, good for him, but he would never do it. Yes, I remember that call. And because he said he had a disabled wife, the guy living in a van, and he was thinking about he was living away from his wife to make money. He goes, should I continue to live in the van, let my parents take care of my disabled wife, and save up for like 10 years? And Dave Ramsey said, I wouldn't do it, but go ahead. So guys, look, what I tell you is don't even get married. And then imagine if you lived in a van. Guys, you wouldn't have to worry about anything. So I remember that call, Tony. Sam. Does the sexy MILF from Buffalo that moved to Florida ever come on the chat anymore? No, Christina, I haven't seen her in a while. So having a YouTube channel is like basically having a temporary portal into people's lives. Very few people stay with me for more than 3 months. They come to me in a season of their life where either they need counsel, they need someone to talk to, or my videos inspire them. But either I'll say something political, or just like 3 months of any relationship, the honeymoon wears off and they go do something else. There's a few people in here that have been with me for a while, but that's just part of life. You know what I mean? People come into your life for a season. They don't owe me anything, and I don't owe them anything. So I'm thankful for the time we're connected together. And, but no, I haven't talked to her in a while. Josh, great. And it's sometimes that's sad. Initially, as a YouTube creator, you form bonds with people. Like, there's been a lot of trolls that I formed bonds with, and then I say something they disagree with politically, and I say, oh, that's what you think? I don't like them. And even like some of the nasty people on the bottom of YouTube, I was once in sync with them. And one day they came in here, maybe they were off their meds, or maybe they just stopped light, and they were just totally wild. So, that's the tough part about being a YouTuber. You're basically going to have a lot of devastated divorces, virtually. But I'll take a virtual divorce over a real one. Josh, great point about the utilities, maintenance costs for a home, owning an RV, etc. Thank you, brother. Again, I know I say it a lot, but I'm going to say, because I owned a house for 15 years. I've lived in my car for 3. And I don't think I'll ever own a house again. I think I'll live mobile the rest of my life, or I'll buy an RV lot and live in an RV and leave when a storm would come. And I don't, an RV lot, purchasing it, a big negative is I know I'm anchored down to that community for a little bit. So, just think about that. Josh, Nathan, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that call too. Yeah, remember he had that wife? I watched that to help inspire me to live in my car. Me too, guys. We're on the same page. Tomasco, at Carlos. Try using the browser. Okay, good point, Tomasco. Use the browser on your iPhone instead of the YouTube app. If you go into your Chrome browser, you can probably see that blue join button and you could click it. Maybe someone do it while we're live. Tomasco, great advice, man. Thank you. Carlos, thanks, Tomasco. Marin, a.k.a. Ziggy. Internet probably right now. Dag. We love you, Marin. Hang in there. Tom, agree with Dave Ramsey 90% of the time. Medical bills and life happens. Yes. And remember, medical bills are the #1 cause of bankruptcy in America. If Dave Ramsey was really Christian, I think he would say we have universal health care, but he's a capitalist above Christianity. So tithe 10% of your money to your church, but don't buy health care. So whatever. All right, let's stay positive. But medical bills, we have a new member. Our brother Nathan figured out how to join the channel. He's living in his car. I subscribed to his channel yesterday. Brother, welcome to the exclusive Inspirational Nomad membership, where you can cancel at any time. But while you're a member, you'll have exclusive access to the live chats that when I do member only, you'll have some custom emojis. See if you have them now. And from now on, every time you leave a comment in the live chat or on my regular videos, you're going to have a badge next to your name. For the first month or so, that badge will be green, then it'll turn to blue, and then it'll turn to gold. So, Nathan, welcome, brother. Thank you for your membership, and let's take a hydration break and salute to our fellow nomad. There it is. His membership badge has officially. He goes, I have an iPhone. The link in the description works, even though the blue join button. Okay. Oh, so you use the link description in every video. I put a description with the link to join the membership. If you have an iPhone, look at my video description box and click the link to join. Norma, who's also a member, says congratulations. Norma's a faithful member. Guys, let's take a hydration break. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone watching. Just showing some love to the members, man. Thank you. Let's continue. Welcome, Nathan. Where are we at? The medical bills question. Let me go back to that because that was a good question. Tom. Yeah, so one is you got to have health insurance. If you don't have it through your job, then yeah, you got to pay for it yourself. And if you really get into a jam, then like Dave Ramsey, you can claim bankruptcy because medical bills are bankruptable. The only really heavy debt that's not bankruptable is college loan debt currently in America. So that's something that you do have to consider. Triple O, what's up, man? I remember you. I hope you're doing well. And remember, being single is a blessing. Triple O asked me the other night, like, is it depressing that he's single? I said, no, it's a blessing from the Lord. A lot of people I know, breakups destroy your life. So Triple O says, Mercedes is the best car in the world, and the rest are nothing. Well, I respectfully disagree. I drive Honda Accord, nothing, and pay nothing. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. You think the Mercedes are the best in the world, but you drive a Honda? Well, love to you. Look, all cars are just cars. They're going to break down. They're going to need maintenance. So for Mercedes, even if it's a higher end car, if you pay more in maintenance and everything else, it's just a matter of what you like. I've had a Jeep Renegade for 5 years. Okay, thank God I've never had any really major issues. I have 150,000 miles on it. My other favorite car was my Jeep Compass. When I was younger, I leased a Jaguar, I leased a Range Rover. I didn't, guys, they're nice to look at, they're nice to impress people, but there's not a difference really. Maybe some comforts or some bells and whistles. But your comfort matters. But other than that, a car is a utility. It's to get you from A to B. Now, how many bells and whistles you want in between A and B, that's a personal, individual decision. Like, I love sunroofs because I need that vitamin D pouring on my soul. That's why I got the Jeep Renegade, because it has a dual sunroof, one in the front, one in the back. So, I'm not mad at anyone who wants to get a Mercedes, but I like the simple life. And I like to be at where I do agree with Dave Ramsey is the overall philosophy of live below your means. Now, again, if you got Dave Ramsey money and you want a Mercedes, look, I don't know. If you say, Sam, right now, if you gave me $1 million, I would not buy a Mercedes. If you gave me $1 million when I was young, definitely would. But as a middle-aged man, I don't want a Mercedes. I don't. So I guess it all depends on your perspective. Nathan, welcome again, brother. Thank you for joining. Love to you, man. Best of luck to you on your car journey. Look forward to your videos if you want to continue to make them. Love to you. Nathan says, I have the iPhone, but he used the link in the description of my video, and then he was able to identify the join button. Thank you, brother. Norma, whoop, whoop. Yes, he's in here strong. Love to you, Norma. Lila, how much for the membership? $9.99 a month, and you can cancel at any time. Lan, had a comment war with Dave Ramsey Fanatic. I very rarely leave comments on YouTube channels that are talking about politics, religion, etc. Because what I realized that it's usually a waste of energy and time, and the reply string ends up lasting for hours and days. And then I realized I poured a lot of energy into probably someone that has major issues, and they're just in this negative loop. They live to keep the contention of a debate going on. So be mindful of what you pour your time and energy into. Not worth it. But I made that mistake in the past. Bland says, I had a comment war with a Dave Ramsey fanatic the other day. Some of them are like robots. Yeah, it's not worth the argument. That will do anything he says. It's all part of life. Can't pay off debt when an emergency fund bankrupts you. Emergency fund matters. To me, emergency fund is what makes you solvent or whole. Again, like right now, if you lose your job, if you get laid off, or if you have an emergency, it doesn't matter that you're debt free. It matters that if you have enough money in a savings account, not just to pay for the emergency, but to pay for rent or food for a couple months, if not a year. Why? Because that's peace of mind, and that's actual usage of what you work for. Most of the wealthy people in society, they leverage debt. And if they fall upon hard times, they go bankrupt. And they just let the courts work it out for years. So while the court system works out their bankruptcy for years, they still got their savings account. And they're spending money. They're racking up more debt. Because they say, if I'm going to go bankrupt, I'm racking up more debt. So, again, I don't recommend that mindset or that way, but it's just something that you have to give a lot of thought about. I think your emergency fund is your most important asset. Tomasco, Jeep SUVs are super fun to drive. I totally agree. That's an excellent comment, Tomasco. The most enjoyable vehicles I had to drive was my Jeep Compass number 1, my Jeep Renegade number 2. My Jeep Compass was actually a little bit more comfortable to drive. I had a Jeep Compass Rally Edition. So I like small, compact. And I like a sunroof. And other than that, I like simple. And I like technology. But to me, Tesla is too much technology. I'm not really an Elon Musk fan. And to me, I don't want to be subject to a charging station, etc. So, good comment. Bland, I rarely comment too. Regretted it instantly. I've been there. You'll learn. But you're a good man, and you try to do the right thing. All right, guys, let's take a hydration break. Welcome again, Nathan. Love to you guys, man. I hope you're having a good day. Stay positive. Keep your flexibility. Watch what you pour your energy into. And, you know, if you live a simple life, you have a lot of options, and that's a blessing. Blanton, sometimes I feel on fire with creativity. Other days, I feel like I have nothing to share to make a video. Well, this is what I would tell every YouTube creator. Creativity comes in waves. So when you get a wave of creativity, write down your ideas in your smartphone, in your calendar. So like right now, if you have an idea of, I want to talk about being debt free, and I want to talk about living in a Class B RV, and I want to talk about a breakup, whatever it is, write down those 3 topics, put one in for tomorrow, put one in your calendar for the next day, put the other in your calendar for the following day. So tomorrow when you wake up and that creativity wave is gone, in your calendar is already the idea that you had, that you wrote down, so that you have a subject title to talk about tomorrow. And then the next day when you wake up, you look at your phone and you have another subject title to talk about. So document your wave of creativity. Keep it staggered throughout the day so that you have a level of consistency to follow. And you have flexibility in your mind and in your schedule to change it. If tomorrow you wake up and you're not inspired to talk about that, you don't have to, but at least you have something to fall back on. You have a plan, you have a strategy, and that's very important. Let's continue to read. Juliana's in the building, Australia's in the house. 000. If I had $1 million, I would definitely buy Mercedes E-Class. Okay. Because what's the point of having money if you don't enjoy it and you only live once? Well, again, to each their own. Again, I leased luxury cars, and for me, the last one I leased, I totally regretted it. So I can't begrudge someone for wanting to experience that. So to each their own, and I respect your opinion and your view. Bland, money equals freedom. To a certain degree, that's true. Now, you need your health, mental and physical. And that means you have to watch the people you allow in your life, watch how many videos you're commenting on that has political and negative back and forth. Watch what you eat and watch the relationships that you have. Because if you don't have your health, obviously money don't matter. But you need money because you want your health, physical and mental and emotional, and you want the money back. And then from there, you just build a life that is around what you like to do. Juliana, our beautiful viewer from Australia, who lives in a rural part of Australia, who had an electrical failure on her home base. So everyone who wants to buy property and have a shed or something like that, Juliana from Australia is already living that life. And what I can tell you is she had to call probably electrical contractor today. She didn't have her running water, her electric, and it was a pain in the butt. She left a comment. I read it. I thought it was very funny, even though I didn't mean to laugh at her hardship, but I've been there. I hate having to call a contractor and wait between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for them to come. I hate to have to get an appliance delivered to my property and have to wait for them. I hate the anchor and the entanglements that living a conforming life bring. I like the mobility. And that's why I like the Dodge ProMaster, because if something goes wrong, you go right into a Dodge dealership. You don't have to wait to an RV dealership. Good to see you, Juliano. I hope your electricity issue is fixed, and I hope you're happy, and I'm praying for your mother. Bland, very good idea. Thank you, brother. Bland, Mercedes equals maintenance. That's true. I don't like maintenance. I hate maintenance, and I hate liability. Sammy, what are 2 things that you like? I'll sum them up in 2 words. I hate maintenance, and I hate liability. I like flexibility, and I like free porn. That's true. Let's continue. Triple O. The Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk has 707 horsepower. Yeah, and that's too much for me. I'm not a speed demon. Now the Cherokee, you may be able to tow more if you were looking to tow a travel trailer, but I'm not really into going fast. I'm more about efficiency than fast and furious. I don't really care about going 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. I want to take my time. I want to be fuel efficient, and I want to have a comfortable ride. That's true. But teach your own. Bland, Australia is where it's at. Well, not in the part that Juliana's in, because I didn't know her part of Australia has a winter with freezing temperatures. I repositioned my life in Florida because I hate winter, and I never want to live through another winter again. Bland, Tom Hanks and me always laugh so hard when you say, praise the choir, praise the Lord. Those yoga pants changed my life, oh brother. The yoga pants will change your life, but they will also destroy your life. If you get so seduced by the yoga pants that you run out of your RV, you run out of your dorm room, and you say, you know what, I want to marry you. Okay, I want to take care of you. I once told a girl I want to take care of you. And she said, you know I got debt, right? I said, what? I said, what? Guys, yoga pants will totally blind you to all wisdom. Dave Ramsey forgot in his baby steps, avoid thy yoga pants. Okay. Dave Ramsey encourages people to have kids even when they're broke. He said, you should get IV fertility treatment even though you're dead broke and you can't afford a kid. Dave Ramsey is delusional. Okay. And that's why Tennessee has higher levels of poverty than just about any other state other than Kentucky. Guys, the yoga pants are deceiving trait. Now again, for all my girls out there, a tall guy with a nice ass who is willing to fix your electrical problem at your home base, he eventually is going to get on your nerves. You're going to want to eat your Haagen-Dazs ice cream without that tall guy looking to get with you. You know, leave me alone. I don't want to get with you tonight. I don't want to have anal sex tonight. But if he just fixed your electrical problem, guess what, guys? You got to have anal sex tonight. Okay. I don't want that pressure. No, I don't mind having anal sex. You guys. But Juliana knows what I'm talking about. She was married. She know damn well what I'm talking about. You think someone gonna fix your sink and not want a favor? Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah, I don't want maintenance, man. I don't want liability. I don't want to be married. I want to live mobile. What I could tell you is this, guys. Do whatever's best for you. Let's continue. Tom. Yep. I live below my means. Congratulations. Pay cash if possible. Good. Emergency fund and medical insurance. Very important. Good job. And be sure to pay it forward. Damn it, Tom. Good comment. Blame. Yoga pants both create and destroy. True wisdom. Praise the Lord. You figured it out, brother. Lila Kizak. Trump started all this since 2008 debate because we need to take him out. Well, the Lord took him out with a plague. Guys, how did the Lord take out Pharaoh? A plague. Guys, you could be the smartest guy. You can know how to navigate the bankruptcy system in America. You can have the stock market at an all-time high. But don't test thy Lord. Okay. Why? Because, guys, Mother Nature, the Lord, can totally change the course of history. Okay. And when the course of history changes, jump in your RV and move. Why? Because you don't want to be around Pharaoh. Okay, good job. Blaine, who moved the Dave Ramsey adult DVD? Guys, Dave Ramsey, total disaster. Blaine, that is Dave Ramsey video. Here we come. I hear that. Tom, oh my God, love to you. All right, guys, I think we banged it out. Nathan, I want to thank you for joining. Norma, great to see you. Blanton says, total disaster. You already know, but you're a smart guy. You're going to figure it out. Love to you. Thank you, everyone who joined the live chat tonight. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully my videos help you in some way for the season of life that we're tied together. Carlos, love to you, brother. Shout out to South Florida. What I could tell you, best emoji is painting the fingernails. Well, to me, best emoji is bikini palm trees. And the custom emoji that comes with every membership. Drop the mic, because that's what I just did. Drop the mic and live your best life by intention and keep it simple. God bless.